That's the view out my front door. What's interesting about that particular view is where it is taken from. Ta-da!
Greetings, YouTubers. So the cat's out of the bag. If I'm able to get my video off of my phone here and onto my laptop to post, the hole has been cut. That's the pod wall right there. So I got to trim it up and make it look good and all of that, but it was surprisingly hard to cut. I used a little vibratory saw. It's kind of like an electric hacksaw of sorts, but it's got kind of a round blade and just vibrates. It did a pretty good job. It's just kind of hard to get into those angles and stuff, but the hole is cut. I said it would be cut, and by golly, I'm a man of my word, and it's cut. So I'm out here enjoying my victory in my new house. It's coming along pretty well. I've got all of the cabinets. The sides are closed in. I now need to make the doors. I have enough plywood to start that process. What I need to get are some hinges, and I'm going to frame the doors, so there'll be, like a sheet of 1/4-inch or 1/8-inch plywood, and then I'll frame around it, and then the hinges will mount to that frame to keep them lightweight, but give them some strength. I've got to figure out a latching mechanism, how I'm going to do that. I'm going to alternate between having them open up, so the shelves that are on top are going to open up. The shelves in the middle are going to open this way. That was Rachel's idea. And then the ones on the bottom are going to open this way. They're going to fold down. So that way you can look down and see the shelf. That's why I'm doing that. I did everything today on solar. Everything today was done on solar power. I've had the inverter hooked up for a while, so I brought my cordless tool battery chargers out here into the trailer and plugged them in and charged the batteries with solar. I got the switch. I'll have some pictures, I think, probably somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle of this frame, so I have some pictures. So I'll try and get them in here, and maybe what I'll do is I'll use this for the frame, see if I can get them in there. That'd be kind of cool. It's mounted. The light I told you about, I got that mounted yesterday. I used the jigsaw to cut the hole in the paneling for my inverter switch, which is right up here on the top of this panel. It's just out of the frame. And it was plugged into my inverter, and I used my jigsaw, and I cut the hole with my jigsaw for my solar power today, free. That is just boss. There are some things that are just cool in life. That was one of them. That was cool. Having my kids was cool. That was cool. This wasn't up there with the kids, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It's like that day, when you got a nice south swell coming into Huntington Beach and there's a light breeze offshore and the waves are about 4 to 6 feet and there's a perfect curl. I mean, it was that kind of cool. It was cool. And as you know, I got my license plates yesterday. I'm so glad that's over with. So, the light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter as of today. I feel like I made some pretty good progress. Getting these panels up took some doing, because I got to go around, like these little things here, and I've got to cut them to fit. So it took a little bit of doing. I couldn't just, okay, it's this long and this wide, and cut a rectangle and bolt it up. I had to shape them. So it took a little doing to get them done, but they are all done, all the sides. Now I've got to do the doors. Obviously, this is open. And I'm still thinking about how to do that. The other thing I need to do is some of you know, if you watch my other videos, there's a retaining wall out my door. My front door is right here. My back ramp door is back this way, and then this is pod 1, and it's facing my dad's driveway. So this pod opens up fine. It opens up into the driveway, and it kind of creates a little bit of a problem for people to get around. There's other cabins that are down the road from my dad's place, and then everybody uses that same driveway. But with the retaining wall here, I can't open pod 2 all the way. I was able to build it for the most part, but I can't build the walls because I need the pod out and square to the trailer so that I can get dimensions and all of that stuff. So I've got to turn the trailer around, or there's a cul-de-sac at the end of the road here. I may tow it down there and park in the cul-de-sac, and then I can leave the pods open. I could even stay in it at this point. I feel like this is habitable to me. It's got shelves. I've got electricity. I disconnected the light that I had, but I mean I could hook that back up. The reason I disconnected it is, getting these side panels on. I just strung a wire across the roof. I was just so anxious to see light come out of out of my light here that I just wired it up and plugged it in and then went all goo-goo. So I need to come up with a good way to get cables from this side of the trailer to that side of the trailer. And I have a couple of ideas in mind. I mean, it's not like I can't think of something. I've got several ideas and I'm just trying to pick one. I'm kind of toying with kind of a steampunk kind of theme, using copper pipe and sweat fit joints and fittings and that kind of thing, and running the wires inside the pipe across the top. I think that would be cool. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is just using a piece of the 1/4-inch birch plywood and building a box, like a 2-inch deep box across the roof here that my wires could go across in, and then I could mount lights in it and that kind of thing. It's more conventional, it's more convenient, at least for putting lighting down the center aisle and that kind of thing, but it's not as cool as steampunk. I mean, steampunk, steampunk isn't as cool as cutting a hole in a wall. It isn't as cool as having kids, and it isn't as cool as 4 to 6 foot offshore surf at Huntington. But, steampunk's cool. Copper, brass, I mean, that's just cool. Come on. Who doesn't like steampunk? Leather, what biker what decent, right-minded biker wouldn't like steampunk? So. All right, I think that's it. Is there anything else that I need to tell you? I charged all my tools. I cut the hole with the solar. And the solar did really well. It was kind of an overcast day by the time I got to that point where I was using my solar system, and it's late in the day. It's like I think it's about 5 o'clock right now, and I just finished doing all of that. And I'm in a forest, so I've got trees. So the solar and there's dust and stuff on my solar panels. I haven't cleaned them since I put them up. So the solar is not optimum, and yet it still kept up. I got down to about 12.8 volts, I think, putting out about just under 4 amps, between 3.8, 3.9 amps with both of my battery chargers going. I didn't look when I had the jigsaw going. I think it was about the same. So we're looking at about 80, 90 watts maybe, I'm thinking. I've got 300 watts on the roof, so I was well under what should be coming in through the solar panels. So in my humble opinion, I feel like it performed really well. I'm anxious to see what it would look like on a nice sunny day with no trees around, and a nice winter 2-zone 62-liter refrigerator right there running. I think those things pulled out about 45 to 65 watts, I guess, depending on where they are in their cycle. My laptop burns 100 watts. I was kind of surprised. It's 100 watts. I forget what the voltage and amperage was. I'd have to look again, but I just remember that it was 100 watts. I mean, it's a fast laptop. It's a pretty decent laptop. It's got some horsepower. So it's got a power supply commensurate with that performance. So, so I think that's it. I'm growing my hair. I don't know if you noticed. Go back to my December 7th video and look how short my hair was. Well, look at it the day that, what did I don't know, did I get the high and tight? I cut it high and tight a while back. I may have predated my December 7th day of infamy when I announced that I was going to be moving into this lifestyle. Wow, December 7th. So January, February, March, and I'm in April. January, February, March, April, approaching May. So almost 5 months since I made the choice. February 24th was the day we left, that we closed on the house, got our checks, and bolted for California. So March, April, coming up to 3 months, for all intents and purposes, homeless. I gotta tell you, my perspective when I listen to the news now about the homeless is different. I mean, I've always had a heart for them. I've worked in some organizations, I never got paid for it. I volunteered in some organizations that 12 minutes, another long one. So anyway, I worked at an organization that catered to homeless folks, distributed food. We didn't have a whole lot of money. On occasion, we had some money to pay for like an electric bill, that kind of thing. Clothing. Tried to find those that were willing and wanted work. We tried to find them work, get them cleaned up, get some clothes, get them interviews, that kind of thing. We had a guy that lived on the roof of the facility there, and he would come down and he'd sweep around the outside, and that's how he kind of earned his keep on the roof. And there was kind of a tree that kind of overhung that area of the roof, and he'd roll his sleeping bag out, and it was kind of in the valley of the roof there, and he'd kind of lay his sleeping bag there, and the tree would be over the top of him, and that's where he lived on our roof. And so it's not like I'm critical of homeless people. I am not critical of homeless people. I probably know them better than a lot of folks do, but I have to tell you, it's different from the other side. I mean, I don't really consider myself homeless. I mean, look at what I'm doing with this trailer and where I'm living right now, and I eat every day, and I'm able to get out of the weather. I have family that I can go to, and kind of buffer my resource. I mean, if I didn't have my folks or my dad and my sister and her family as kind of islands for me to kind of park and get this stuff done, I mean, I still would have gotten it done, but it'd have been a lot harder. I'd have been a lot hungrier, probably a lot colder. Rachel probably would have shot me and left me for dead by now, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, my perspective has changed. And, I saw that stuff going on in the Santa Ana riverbed. And I don't want to digress too far down a political road, but sorry, a car just drove by on Dad's driveway. But my perspective has changed. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I want to do something. I don't know what that would be. I like what Bob is doing. I think Bob gives people hope. Bob and his lifestyle and the website and the people on the website who help provide information and promote. Promote's not the right word. But for living an alternative lifestyle other than in a house. But I think that there needs to be more. There's another website that I've been told about. I'm not going to throw a name out there. But it just didn't seem to me like it was the pathway that I would want to participate in. But I want to participate in something. I want to find something that focuses on the homeless problem, not from, just stay homeless and go move into a trailer kind of scenario. Although I don't think it's bad. I am thrilled. I'm excited about seeing what this is going to look like and living this way. I can't tell you how excited I am. But not everybody wants to do that. And I think just coming through with a bulldozer and clearing a place out and giving people a couple of vouchers for hotels is not the answer. That is not the answer. And I don't know what is. I mean, I have some ideas, but I think that leadership in our country. I've lost faith in the leadership in our country, and I doubt that they really have the resolve or really the intent. I think that they're more about looking like they're solving a problem so they can keep their votes without really solving the problem. And that's kind of a jaded perspective. I know, but I am kind of thinking that way. I don't know. I miss America the way that it was, I guess. Anyway, I've really gone off on a tangent here. And I didn't mean to do that. And it's already at least 12 minutes long, and I don't know how long I've rambled on since then, but probably long enough. So the hole is done. I did everything on solar today. I'm pretty pumped. So. All right, I think that's enough for today. I am going to call it done, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later.